High on a frozen mountain, a search team followed a single set of footprints in the snow. One person, walking alone. Their tracks pressed clearly into the fresh powder. The searchers followed the prints for hours, up the slope, into the white, and then, in the middle of an open snowfield, the footprints stopped. No body, no struggle, no tracks leading away. The person who made them had simply vanished, as if they had stepped off the surface of the world. This is one of the strangest disappearances in mountaineering history, and the answer, when it finally comes, is stranger and sadder than any ghost story. Our story starts with an experienced climber, fit, careful, and completely at home in the mountains. This was not a reckless beginner. This was someone who had climbed for years and knew exactly how dangerous winter peaks could be. They set out alone, in winter, for what should have been a straightforward climb, a route they had done before. But winter changes everything on a mountain. Familiar ground becomes unfamiliar. Solid paths vanish under deep snow, and the safe route from summer can become a death trap. Like all careful climbers, they signed the logbook at the base, noting their route and the time they expected to return. Then they stepped onto the trail and started up into the snow, alone. It was the last time anyone would see them. From that point on, all we have is what the mountain left behind. The climber did not come back when they were supposed to. At first, that was not alarming. Mountains slow people down, and experienced climbers often run late. But hours passed. Then a full day, and there was still no word, no message, no call, nothing at all. So, a mountain rescue team was called in. Experienced people who had pulled dozens of climbers off these slopes over the years. They searched from the air first, scanning the vast white slopes for any splash of color, a jacket, a backpack, any sign of a person at all. But the mountain is enormous, and a single climber is very small, and time was against them. Every hour in the cold made survival less likely. From the air, they found nothing, so they went in on foot, roped together for safety, moving carefully across the treacherous snow. And that is when they found the first real clue. A single line of fresh footprints leading up the mountain. The tracks were unmistakable. One person, the right-sized boots, heading up the mountain exactly along the climber's planned route. For the rescuers, this was a gift, a clear trail to follow. All they had to do was walk in the missing climber's footsteps, and it should lead them straight to them. So they followed. The prints climbed steadily, around rocks, up a ridge, deeper and deeper into the high, frozen wilderness. Eventually the tracks led them out onto a wide, open snowfield, a flat expanse of untouched white, with the prints marching straight across the middle of it. The rescuers felt sure they were close now. The trail was fresh. The climber had to be just ahead. And then the lead rescuer stopped dead, because up ahead something was very wrong. The footprints simply ended, mid-stride, in the very center of that open field of snow. Beyond the final print, the snow was perfect, smooth, untouched, no more tracks, not a single mark. The rescuers spread out and circled the whole area, searching in every direction. There were no tracks leading away, not forward, not sideways, not back the way they came. It was as if the climber had taken one more step, and then been lifted straight up off the ground, or had simply ceased to exist. These were hardened professionals, people who had seen everything the mountains could do to a human being, and even they were, for a moment, completely baffled. And whenever footprints end in the middle of nowhere, the wild theories arrive right on schedule. Theory 1. Aliens, obviously. A climber, plucked clean off the mountainside by a passing spacecraft. It is, at this point, the traditional opening guess for absolutely everything. Theory 2. The Yeti, a monster of the high snows that carried the climber away without leaving any tracks of its own. Because monsters, apparently, can also fly. Theory 3. A portal, a door in the air that the climber walked straight through, into somewhere else entirely. There is, of course, no evidence for any of these, but an ending this clean is like honey to every mystery lover on the internet, because the real explanation was standing right there the whole time, and it had been quietly erasing the evidence from the very beginning. To understand what happened, you have to understand one simple, deadly fact about snow. It does not stay still. On an exposed mountain, the wind is almost constant, and it is always moving loose snow across the surface, lifting it, carrying it, and dropping it somewhere else. This means that footprints up here do not last very long, as the wind blows, smoothed over by the wind as if it had never been there at all. Now, picture the climber's trail from the rescuer's point of view. The freshest prints, the most recent ones, are still clear and sharp, but the older prints, further back, have already been half filled by the wind, and the oldest of all are simply gone. So the trail does not really begin and end the way it looks. What the rescuers were following was just a moving window of the freshest few prints, with blank snow at both ends, but that still leaves the biggest question of all. If the trail is being erased from behind, then where did the climber actually go? And the answer to that is hidden beneath the snow itself, because that flat, innocent-looking snowfield was not solid ground at all. On glaciers and high mountain slopes, deep cracks called crevasses open up in the ice. Some of them are hundreds of feet deep, and fresh snow can build up and form a thin, fragile bridge right across the top of one, hiding it completely. From above, that snow bridge looks exactly like the rest of the field. Perfectly flat, perfectly safe. There is no way to see the deadly gap waiting just underneath your boots. Every step is a gamble you do not even know you are taking. So the climber walked out across the open field, took one more step onto the hidden bridge, and it collapsed silently beneath them. And here is the terrible, elegant part of the whole thing. When they fell through, the snow bridge collapsed inward and downward, dropping into the crack with them. The falling snow filled the hole behind them as they went, and then the wind did the rest. Within minutes, blowing powder smoothed the surface over completely, sealing the crevasse as if it had never opened at all, so the footprints led right up to the edge of the hidden crevasse, and then, at the exact spot where the climber fell through and the snow sealed over, they simply stopped. There were no tracks leading away, because the climber never walks away. They did not vanish upward, they went straight down, and the mountain quietly closed the door above them. Not aliens, not a portal, not a monster, just wind and snow and a hidden crack in the ice. A perfectly natural trap that happened to leave behind a perfectly impossible-looking scene. And there is a final haunting detail. Glaciers move, slowly, over years and decades. Climbers lost in the ice this way are sometimes found again, far downhill, when the glacier finally gives them back, perfectly preserved by the cold. Disappearances like this feel supernatural. Footprints that stop have haunted people for as long as there have been mountains and snow. But almost every time, the truth is not magic. It is physics. The mountain is simply very good at hiding what it takes. The real lesson here is a quiet and serious one. The high mountains are beautiful, but they are not safe. And the very snow that makes them so stunning is the same snow that can swallow a person without a trace. Behind almost every impossible mystery, there is usually a very real and very human story. And this one asks only that we respect the mountain and never, ever climb it carelessly. If a good mystery with a real answer is your kind of thing, then you are exactly where you should be. Next time, a remote radio tower, a final desperate message, and an operator who was found alive, but could never explain what he had seen out there in the dark. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.